Nigerian is one of the leading giants in Nigeria's digital broadcasting. We deliver quality productions to clients from all sectors of life. We are experts in program streaming, event coverage, news reporting, adverts, documentaries, personality profiling, skits and jingles. You can advertise now on Television Nigerian network platforms or sponsor programs like The Patriot, Spectacle, Business Daily, Security Dossier, and other programs. To publicize your business from ground state to the zenith, we have the capacity to introduce, promote, and publicize your businesses to increase patronage. We associate with quality to attract clients like you. Television Nigerian is your media solution. For bookings, advert placements, and further inquiries, please contact 080-3071-6959 or 070-3462-5838 or 070-5432-7616 or visit us at the Guzupi Hilltop Mansion, the Television Nigerian House, on the address showing on your screen. Television Nigerian, broadcasts beyond boundaries. Good morning and welcome to the Television Nigerian Press Talk. This is Press Talk on Television Nigerian, and it's a platform where we discuss headlines in the national dailies, making the news on the front pages of the newspapers. And to discuss with me right now at the studio of Television Nigerian is Daniel Atai.
Thanks for having me, Mr. Peggy, and good morning, audience.
Thank you very much. We are going to be discussing very, very important issues that are making the news in the national dailies. As you can see, today is Thursday, 1st of April. Has somebody done your April Fool today? It's a very popular thing we used to do, April Fool. Have you got a lot?
No, that acronym April Fool, meaning April 1st. Nobody have done that to me today.
Sometimes they can just send you a recharge card and there's nothing inside, or send you an alert and then say, sorry, it is just April Fool. I hope that we will not experience any of those today.
Exactly.
If something is going into your account, it should go straight into the account and let it be real.
Let it be real.
Let it be real. Thank you very much and welcome to the month.
Thank you.
So we'll go straight to the Punch. The Punch is very elaborate here with very, very serious topical issues. The PDP, others carpet federal government as United States alleges massive graft in Buhari's regime. Wow. The writer there says corruption, pervasive in government, including judiciary security agencies, the United States, the US.
It's credited to the US.
It's credited to the US. That is, they are the ones saying that. You have right abuses under Buhari government worse than under military dictatorship, says PDP. You also keep having on the rider there, the federal government, APC, keep mum over report. Keep mum over report. Verdict depressing, says CDHR ex-president.
Of course, a committee for the defense of human rights.
Human rights, committee for the defense of human rights.
The ex-president of that committee.
Ex-president of that committee. Then the details can be found on page 2. On the top, on the top part of the newspaper, there you have service chiefs delaying defense, vaccine supplementary spending. Federal government, page 15. You have Senate demand 4.16 billion judgment debt disbursement details. You can find that on page 22 of the Punch. Doctors strike begins. NARD meets National Assembly over unpaid allowances, page 7.
Yes, Nigerian resident doctor.
Yeah, Nigerian resident doctors.
While the strike is on, the president has moved to UK for medical treatment. So you can see the picture story there. Looks like quite a number of people who are on these arrested Europe-bound migrants cheering, during their arrival at the naval base in Tripoli, Libya, on Wednesday. That's the picture story there. And then you have Lagos to equip LASMA, others with body-worn cameras. You can find that on page 6. I can't demand 7 billion bribe when I left 75 billion in office, Obi. Wow. Page 12. You can find the UK agency fines Oyakilome's TV 65.6 million naira over COVID-19 misinformation. UK agency fines Oyakilome's TV 65.6 million. You can find the details on page 7. There's another very, very serious one here on the bottom part of the newspaper. The Soludo whereabouts unknown. 3 policemen killed as gunmen attack summit. Page 9 of the Punch. 30 dead cows get mass burial. Ondo health workers monitor markets. Page 5. It was alleged that the Ondo state evoked the gods and then over 30 cows died instantly. While others are saying that the river was poisoned and the cows had to drink and they died. Headsmen's killing assailants. Flee Ebony. Vital clue found. Outrage trails attack.
See the assailants, they flee Ebony, and there is a vital clue that has been found that traced the attack.
Yes.
So if they flee Ebony, that means they migrated to neighboring state or nearby villages.
Villages, yes. So do you think
the herdsmen crisis in the country, I'm tired of talking about it. And I think I want to react to the attack on Soludo.
Yes.
Because of the Anambra State Goba poll.
Yes.
That is just by the corner. And I wonder, this is a just gubernatorial election. And from the feelers that we have gotten, I personally have studied the Anambra scenario. They usually zone it across the 3 senatorial zones.
Yes.
The gubernatorial elections.
Yes.
You know, when you talk about Anambra, you know, that is where the big and mighty money bags of this country, they are there. Industrialists, capacity, you know, men and women of Newe and the rest. So, but right now, it is not, it is zoned to the minority area of where Soludo came from.
Yes.
And Soludo being a former CBN governor, and with a national and international clout, is a threat to some aspirants, like you know. But what I don't find funny is the fact that some people are trying to thwart that zoning arrangement that existed over a long time.
Yes.
And it has really maintained peace. You know, the eastern region is not a region where you play politics of majority carries the vote. If not, you will have insecurity problem. Almost all the states in the eastern states, in the eastern region, the zone across the gubernatorial election across their senatorial district. And I want to advise the money bags and those who are the mighty and the powerful to allow the zone. I think it is now the turn of the south in that area. If the man on the helm of affair now is leaving the office, people from the minority tribes should be allowed to jostle for the seat.
Yes.
And gubernatorial election, like I used to say, that political office is very transient.
Yes.
For people to begin to
start killing people,
conceive murder.
Murder as a panacea.
As a panacea for you to, even if you murder somebody, you might not even be the one to take the primary ticket.
Yeah.
Who knows? Power belongs to God, and He gives to whoever He wants.
Yeah.
So allow Soludo to breathe, and if Soludo becomes a governor, he's even of the status of presidential seat.
Yes.
I mean, he should even be talking about going for presidential election or aspiring to be president of the country. If somebody like Soludo is talking of aspiring to be governor in your state, you should know that he's trying to bring economic empowerment and growth to your.
And they should be happy in the first place.
They should be happy
rather than looking for
the Eastern people, the Eastern politicians. They are very, very good at political calumny. They practice it oftentimes, and we see it's glaring. And the kind of animosity that breeds out of their polity is unbecoming of a democratic.
When you have money too much, it's also a problem.
If you have money too much,
they know that
you must not be a politician. You must not. It is not oligarchical arrangement or government of the elite. So if you are too rich and powerful, create industries with your money and empower people. You don't have to come through the arm of the guns and the bullet. That is just my advice. That is a disturbing news. Okay, 3 police officers lost their lives.
Yes.
And right now, even Soludo's whereabouts is still unknown to them. So, to be honest, it is not good for our nascent democracy.
Yeah.
Especially the Eastern people should take note. And on the issue of PDP, others carpet FG as US alleges a massive graft in Buhari's regime.
Yeah.
Was it not why the man was poisoned in the first place? Up to today, have we even uncovered those behind the poison, whether it is apart from what the Archbishop from UK gave us, some insight. Well, if Buhari's regime is indicted by United States of America, who are those keeping the money there? Has Buhari not been campaigning across the world, the United Nations, General Assembly?
The worst part of
meeting all the world leaders to please expose Nigerians who are doing what? Laundering money in your country. Okay, if you indict, if you say pervasive in government, including judiciary, security agencies, name them.
They are specific here.
The president has oftentimes come out to say that, look, expose them, reveal them. He spoke this even at the Chatham House. He made this very clear. It's not as if I'm supporting him, because I want him to go headlong against corruption. I, for one, would advocate for stiffer measure, stiffer penalty against corrupt practices, because it is corruption that have kept us this way over decades, and we cannot move. And the corruption, the corrupt, they have formed cartel, and the cartel is really growing. It's growing and grooming others.
Yes.
So, and if we don't stop them, it takes only a political willingness from the presidency and the anti-graft agencies to dealing with people like that, and they have to be very, very serious in dealing with the issue of corruption before we come to international insult this way.
But this is Mr. Dan, you see,
if PDP is carpeting,
hold on, PDP is not carpeting anything.
They say PDP orders carpet FG. You can see what
are
PDP
they carpeting it under the?
No, it's not. They are sweeping you and say, look, you said you want to fight corruption. See your government now. You understand?
Sweeping corruption.
Your government is also corrupt.
Yes, as the United States alleges.
As the United
States. Apart from in Transparency International, who also provided their statistics and the index and rated Nigeria to be the most corrupt nation and the poverty capital of the world, they are still not.
I don't believe that. Look, statistics and most of these bodies that you see.
And today we are seeing that the U.S. is also
alleging, and they're saying that most of the monies are hiding in the security agencies, and particularly...
No, they say corruption pervasive in government, and including judiciary.
That's what I'm saying.
Security agencies. These are the ones perverting the corrupt act.
These are the ones perverting the corrupt act.
Yeah, that is what they allege. It's not as if they are hiding the money. They say the security agencies and then the judiciary. And when they mean the judiciary, of course, you know already.
Corruption pervasive in government.
Yes.
Including judiciary,
yes,
security agencies.
Yes. And why? Because the judiciary, even before now, you have seen electoral tribunals, how verdicts were given. Even after election is won on evidential clarity, you see they will move to court from here, and money bags will begin to move billions.
That's the point.
That is why.
And then this security vote.
And what do you think the president will do to the judiciary? The judiciary is not still independent. It's not independent as the arm would be, but he allowed them to flow under their jurisdiction to exercise their right. And then you can see how verdicts in the court have been given. If it is political case, they speed up verdict. But if it is something criminally, you see how the common man will be locked up for years without even a trial, because you may not have money to dish out. So if the U.S. is helping us to uncover
this is
some,
good.
It is good.
It's going to be
it means the judiciary will have to sit up, because to spoil their name this way. I will not say this is a blackmail. If they have indices or evidence, they should publish it. They should publish it and name names.
It's okay. Just like they have started naming here. I think they should name more. Now let's go to this very important
Which judge in the judiciary
has ever been prosecuted?
Which security agency?
Yeah, list them.
Is it in the army? Is it in the Air Force?
Is it the Supreme Court?
Is it this? That is the aspect.
And okay, the aspect of judiciary.
Is it the Supreme Court? Or is it the lower court?
The lower court?
Or is it which judiciary?
There was a judge in this country. There was a judge in this country that was exposed with his bank statement. Yeah, I think they nabbed him one time, and I don't know about the case anymore. But I think he became very humble, and I think he was sacked.
That was That was before the second tenure of President Muhammad
Buhari. Yes,
followed all that.
All those
I don't want to name.
Yes,
but people knows what transpired.
So more of those things should be happening.
You can see sometimes some governors will tell you that they don't want this Chief Justice to sit
on their case.
On their case.
Look at that kind
on
of
their affairs of this.
How can a governor be talking like
this? The Supreme Court judge, you are saying, is not supposed to
sit. So why did he school all the school and then he was kept there in that place?
She's affiliated with, she's married to a political party.
Man, so it is no need.
You don't want to.
Not sit on the case.
The other time it was Governor Wike who alleged that I don't want to begin to mention names.
You can mention names. You are free to mention names.
So if they said, but we saw how verdicts turned in their favor after some intimidation and some money. In Ghana must go, move around, and then they will say on technical ground you don't have evidence, and then they'll just give the verdict. And because they are the gods in the affairs of men, you can't argue it. After all, it's the Supreme Court. So the U.S. will do well to publish names. And then the U.S. should also know that most of these corrupt people, they come to their country to hide the money. So they should also not use that money in their banks to better their economy. They should return those money once they see that this is money laundering. Return the money to the Nigerian government. Swiss government.
I think there's a procedure. I think they're still they have.
Whether there is any procedure, so long as this is corrupt money, if you can bring to the public glare that look,
this is it.
You are indicting the security agency of Nigeria. You're also indicting judiciary.
Yes.
So if the money comes to you, tell us this is the person. Return the money immediately, and so that way we will see that you are helping us to fight corruption. Not when it takes years. Look at Abacha load, for instance. Over 20 years, we are still receiving Abacha load, and if you give If the loot is in your bank and for 20 years you are making use of the money, you are bettering the economy.
So they should send it so that we can also better our
Are you
economy.
sending us the proceed of what you use the money for?
That is what it looks like.
The profit.
That looks like it's a profit.
Yeah, so it's like
they are also aiding and abetting the crime.
They are accomplices.
Accomplice.
Yeah.
And so please tell me something about the rights abuses under Buhari government worse than under military dictatorship.
They should publish the abuses. PDP is the one that alleged. PDP is the one that alleged. They said under military dictatorship says PDP. So PDP, when you grab the paper, you know more.
Know the details there.
Me, I don't know. And I feel like the democracy do not allow or has not allowed our leaders, especially this regime, to act the way it should be. We know when Buhari paired with Diagbon in the 1982 regime, there was this war against indiscipline and so on. We know how the country was. I was a young boy, a little lad, but at least I knew while we were in the barracks, you can't even throw something like this on the floor. You have to behave yourself. Even while in primary school, you have to behave yourself. We know those things. Please, if there is anything that Buhari administration have done wrong against the people, yes, I could say at one point or the other, the court verdict were not obeyed because of the unscrupulous nature through which the verdict, emanated. And sometimes, you could be aggrieved and say, how can this person get bail in the court? This person did this thing truly, and then the judge is setting him free, and that is respect to human rights again. And like I said, not everything could be right, even if it is legal, and you cannot have human rights all the time, because a murderer or somebody who
hiding in the name of human rights, the crime is there. Instead of you addressing the crime, you are now trying to
what kind of right
decorate it with all kinds of
tradition and nature, which also constituted. There is morality.
Yes.
We must respect our morals. Yes. That a criminal who, because of his criminal act, will make entire project of electricity not to be given to people, not to be enacted, not to be implemented. Somebody will steal road contract, fund meant for road contract. You will eat the money, pension money. You will transfer the whole money, liquidate the bank, and you share it, and then you say, go to court. You go to court, you see, the judges will just say, bring shorty, property, it must be a civil servant with level 14, with social properties in Lagos, give you some bail conditions, and then set you free. You go and cross your legs and eat people's sweat. Money that is supposed to be meant for veterans who suffer to keep the integrity and the unity of this country. You ate their pension, and then one judge will exonerate you. To me, it is evil. That is why I said, I think there should be a stiffer penalty to corruption. Look at our roads. Our big men are flying the airport. They are flying through plane. And now maybe they may not even use the train, the railways. Now, the roads all over the country, before now, the dilapidated state of the road. Very deplorable. Unmotorable. Who among them plight the road, except if they come to the villages and they just cruise their cars, and once they are leaving the village, they are going to the airport straight to fly the air. So the corruption that have made and put our infrastructural under deficit and a deplorable state is something to be fought headlong with the judiciary. It is something to be fought headlong along with the National Assembly. And if the executive is willing, then the National Assembly and the legislative arm and the judiciary should also be willing if we want to eradicate corruption. Okay, what would you say? The NFIU policy that came, it was a presidential directive, a presidential order, isn't it? And now, how many local governments have been emancipated from the hook?
It was
from the hook of governance.
It was very beautiful.
Local government, nothing. We have 774 local government in this country. Tour them round and come back to tell me if the amenities or the infrastructural development that you see in 500 million, yet the allocation, maybe 27% of federal allocation that comes to state goes to the local government, or just minute Little amount of money. Yet governors will feast on them, and governors will also dare the court, even dare the presidency, go to court and get justice.
So
and then they will cite
the NFIU
is it working?
It came up very powerfully with the highest approval of the chairman.
They did not come very powerfully. They didn't come very powerfully. They came under a presidential directive. And up till now, their fight against the liberation of local government fund is still very lackadaisical and weak. Very frail.
Let me just remind you something.
When
President Buhari, I want to remind you before we go on, because actually at the point I wanted to say this.
They're talking about judiciary. Expose them.
When President Buhari was the commander-in-chief, and when he took power in 1982, and did you listen to the speech? You said you were in the barracks at the time.
I was just a young lad.
A young lad, but you were conscious of.
Yeah.
You dare not drop or litter the place.
I knew when my father would dress up very early, intelligence barracks in Sokoto State. We were there very early to catch up with a military parade. You just can't. Even we going to school. 8 o'clock was a song then.
Sing it
8 o'clock, boys and girls. 8 o'clock is the hour of school. It's still in your head. As of that time, from that age, it's still in my brain.
I made a mistake and I dropped
it.
I made a mistake and dropped.
You cannot come to school.
Was it a can, a pop can? I drank and then threw through the window.
So the way they
rushed me.
They rushed you even while driving.
You
on
needed
the street.
But I want to say, I've not landed. I wanted to know that he made a speech. That speech, he said, our roads are in deplorable state, that our schools have become dilapidated, that our hospitals have become like pig's pen.
Honestly.
Are you getting
these three things?
Can you see the three things he said? Yeah. I'm wondering, the Buhari that made that speech when he took over as president, he said the hospitals are like pig's pen, which means there's no seriousness in them. Now he is the one who has traveled.
Yes,
and now Nigerians in the UK. No, understand? No,
I'm coming.
I wanted to know. Let me land.
Okay, go
let me land, and then you can get the nexus.
All right.
It's important to connect the nexus between the man who made that speech and now the Nigerians are gathering in the UK waiting for his arrival to send him back to make the hospitals look like the ones that he's coming here to visit. I mean, I wanted to speak on that and then we'll go to the next paper.
You see, I might not completely exonerate the president.
Yes.
But upon inception,
yes,
the president on the road aspect,
yes,
you see several roads right now, contracts were awarded.
Yes.
And thank God, like most of the major roads, and including bridges, like the third Niger bridge, is under construction and implementation under this Buhari administration. Most of the roads, even the state roads that some governors deliberately avoided. Somebody like Governor Wike, I really would like to applaud him for his infrastructural development, even taking state funds to ensuring that federal roads in his state were tarred, and the government released money to him. That shows you the willingness of Mr. President.
Yes.
Remember, as one of the critics of Mr. President administration,
yes,
the 78 billion naira was released to him. Now, we know how contractual agreement between the Chinese company that are rehabilitating several roads now, from Abuja down to Enugu, you can see how they are on it. That is Mr. President for you. Like I said, he will not completely, if not for the COVID, that road would have been completed. But he gave them a timeline at the end of 2022. They want all the roads completed. Lokoja Abuja Road, the same thing in Kogi. Now, the government have also called on private partnerships, private companies who can do this. to join hands with the government and do it, even if it is going to be on part payment or instrumental payment. In the long run, the government will pay. The railway, you can see, over years, the railway, nobody talks about the railway. Crude used to be transported via the railway. We never had this type of lorries plighting ordinary coal
and destroying them.
We used to use rail.
Now they're doing rail.
We use rail to school. We use rail back, the train. But now, even since the past 20 years, I've not known anything like railway.
Yes, I think I've not entered a train in my life.
It has been revamped.
I've entered once.
I followed the first class from Abuja on assignment from my CEO here to Zamfara. I mean to Kaduna State, and from there to Zamfara State, and I was very happy.
Yes, you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
How does it make sound? Does it make?
You won't even know. In fact, it's like touring. It's like tourism.
In the bushes.
I was like happy. This was how I enjoyed my
life,
my young age. But now everything became like lost in the country. And who were the people ruling the country when those things disappeared? The industries that we used to have disappeared. You know, Mr. President said, okay, let's revamp the rail and let's construct the road. He wouldn't follow the rail. He won't use the roads, if you ask me. But he flies the air. But these persons that have been flying the airs over time, do they even remember constructing the road in their villages? And some of the senators that you see,
I'm aware that Mr. President even constructed the road leading straight to Atiku's house.
To Atiku's house, because while Atiku and OBJ
were in power, they didn't do the road.
Ota Road, the same Ota Road, to the Winners Chapel. It was David Oyedepo that constructed that road. The road stayed for all through the tenure of OBJ. It was never constructed.
He didn't know that he had
even the third mainland bridge under Jonathan was not constructed. It is this administration. What about the Oweto Road? We had to. I was among the generals. AVM Monday Morgan and the rest. Adoba, they sent us. They asked us to go to meet the minister, Babatunde Fashola, Minister of Works and House.
Why is the road not?
I interviewed Babatunde Fashola one-on-one. It was not hearsay.
I followed the Oweto Bridge. Very beautiful.
And he said that the problem of why the contracts were not completed is because of the bureaucracy at the National Assembly. And I wrote my report, and I thank God for my vibrant senator that is representing me in Benue State, Senator Abba Moro. He took it up. He went to the National Assembly and said, okay, Babatunde Fashola said that roads, uncompleted roads should be blamed, or infrastructural development should be blamed on National Assembly. And I quote Babatunde Fashola. He said that when it comes to their senatorial district project, their constituency project, they will fight for it at the National Assembly. They must ensure that comes to pass so that the money will be given to them. But when it comes to infrastructural development, they will not approve money on time. That we should blame our representative, our senators and House of Rep. And I wrote it that way. And I put it exactly, not mincing what, the way he said it, that was how I put it down. And then that was what generated heat last 3 or 4 months.
The work is on now.
And the work is on now. And then they summoned Babatunde Fashola on that statement.
You are Mr. Dan, you are the one that did that.
I was the one that did that.
Is that how powerful Engineer Jonathan is?
No. That is how powerful television Nigeria is. And then we broadcasted it. We wrote it.
And they were scared. Because they know that television Nigeria is going to blast them.
Of course, we set agenda. We don't just broadcast. We don't just go after rumors. We want implementation of governance. We want governance separated from politics. We want the bureaucracy to think well about what. Yesterday we talked about national population census, and I got a call from Dr. Kapchi this morning, 1 hour 25 minutes and some seconds, on how she's preparing to come within this month to throw more light on the need of national population census, though they have started the area whatever that they are doing now, demarcation and
I can't remember when last we did. I think in 91 or so.
No, 96, then 2006, and we've not done that.
Again.
And the need for
and
it,
Nigerians are giving
and there are a lot of benefit to it. This morning, from what she spoke to me about, I got to understand that even if you give birth, you just need to go to your local government and register
the baby,
the baby at the national population census. How many sensitization have been going on over all this? Is it not Buhari administration that have approved 10 billion for national population to kick off. And we are trying to set agenda on how they can implement this fund judiciously and ensure that these things are done. Now, back to the infrastructural decay. At that moment, when they summoned the minister, Babatunde Fashola, they were able to approve some fund, like the Oweto Road now. They are, I think, about 9.7 billion they approved for its completion. That at least Fashola opened his mouth to tell us that some of the contractors, they got tired and they left, and some are doing it just like on loan, on credit. That is, Nigeria will have to pay them, the government will have to pay them after they are through, subsequently in the future. What are we talking here? That means there is no fund, not enough fund, and they wish to go and borrow. And if they want to go and borrow, the National Assembly may stop them. And if they have even approved, Mr. President have approved, the they have given order for so money to be released, the National Assembly will stampede it. You understand? And that was why they released some fund, and the implementation of that project is ongoing, right now. So what I'm trying to tell us, and when he came again, he instituted what we call a social investment program. A social investment for schools. And feeding. And then you also know that the suburb also were given contract across the 774 local government to rebuild the primary schools. And so some state governors, they ate this money. They embezzled this money. They misappropriated this money. Some schools that I personally went on tour, like in my local government, we have 130 primary schools that ought to be rehabilitated. In that 130 primary schools, about 120 cooks were employed to take charge of the schools, to cook for the schools. As I'm speaking to you, some were enacted, some were abandoned, and some of the cooks, because of political affiliations, were dropped under the PDP administration in Benue. I can say this without mind.
Yes, I'm aware that you had to come. You went as far as that report.
I went to gather those women. So why were you terminated? Mr. President, though the social investment is in conjunction, in partnership with the state government. The state will bring certain percentage, and the federal government will bring certain percentage. Now, that does not mean that we should put political coloration to it. We are not eating political parties here. Tomorrow, this man can be in APC. Next tomorrow, you can even join PDP. So the trail you left behind is what you are going to be judged with.
That's right.
So, and we do not play politics of governance for political parties affiliation. You have to discharge governance to the people to benefit. So up till now, I even sent a copy of that video to the Minister of Disaster and Social Investment, Ajia Farouk, and I have been waiting for her to act on it, to act on that Benue report. And apart from Benue, many other states where cooks were terminated. The benefit that Mr. President wants to
design the program,
to make sure that common people benefit in
just
schools.
because of political name.
Yes, it's 3 square meals in the school. Encourage pupils to come to school.
That's right.
They have been thwarted by political coloration. So is it, Mr. President, that you will blame on that? Or the social investment, is it not going on? And the student graduate artisans, that this thing is capturing in the country right now. We know it has faces. The faces of artisans have come and passed. The face of graduate is ongoing. Even diploma holders are benefiting. I have registered, me personally, I know the kind of number of persons I registered in my local government who are benefiting today.
And then if the judge decides to terminate them, it's not going to be nice. It's not spirits that are going to be, wait, just a minute. It's not spirits that are going to be working in the political parties, whether you like it or not. This alphabetical
party is just an umbrella.
It's an umbrella.
So when you bring political acrimony because of party affiliation, and
so let's go to the next paper. Let's go to the next.
Wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Let's face governance.
Let's go to the next.
And let's ensure that we benefit from governance and democratic dividends.
Let's go to the next paper. Thank you very much, Mr. Dan.
Thank you.
So the major headline here, the Nigerian Tribune. We're just going to speak I think most of them is repeating itself here. Gunmen attacked Suludo, killed 3 policemen, 3 police aides. That is, his aides were killed, 3 of them. That's a very serious one.
You're on the Tribune now?
Yeah, I'm on the Tribune now.
Okay.
Then you have UCH patient grapple with water scarcity reduction in surgeries. Wow. Page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. You have Lekki claims soldiers killed protesters not verified. United States report. United States again is on Nigeria. I heard in the news the other day that Nigerians should never step their feet on the soil of the United States. I don't know why, but it looked like Biden was for Nigeria. I don't know what's going on now, but you see, you can find those details on page 3 and page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. The affair on Thursday, kidnapping and closure of schools, surest bomb for the destruction of Nigeria. Closure of schools, kidnapping and closure of schools is the surest bomb for the destruction of Nigeria. You look at the back page of the Nigerian Tribune and find the details there. That is indeed a bomb. Closing of schools and Boko Haram kidnapping stuff. This is not healthy development if Nigeria must go forward. On page 2 again, you can find Kano strange illness caused by poisonous substance. NAFDAC warns residents and Nigerians. Now, Somolu unveils body-worn camera for security agencies. Page 29 of the Nigerian Tribune. And the rest of this says 70% of farmers in Ibarapa, Oke Ogun, have abandoned their farms. Alafin accuses security agents of releasing suspected criminals. And H1 monarchs reject proposed ranching for herdsmen in Ekiti. You can find the details there on page 5. I think most of these have repeated themselves here, and so we'll go to the Sun, and then we can deal with the Sun, so that we can just try to be rounding up because of the time. You have the Daily Sun here. The major headline here is agony, anxiety as doctors begin strike. Of course, we've seen that before. Vow to ground public hospitals. Family members evacuate patients. Security challenge can't be fixed without state police. Makinde Alafin Olubadan says. Then you can see on the bottom part of it, it says Anambra Guba, PDP extends sale of forms, rakes in 234 million from 14 aspirants. Anambra gubernatorial elections. They have already been able to gather 234 million from 14 aspirants already. You can find the details on page 26 of the Sun. Killers of Catholic priests will be arrested or tomb vows. Gunmen attack, you can find the details there on page 4. It's still on the Daily Sun. You can find it. It is just about going to pick the...
See, these issues of herdsmen killing in Ebonyi State, and the issue with the 70% of farmers in Ibarapa, in Ogun State, abandon their farms and whatever.
Yes.
Mr. President has said this. Even the Minister of Defense has also said it. There are times, let me tell you, you defend yourselves. You defend yourselves. Otom said it too. You defend yourselves. Though the priority of the government is the security of lives and properties. But then, in the absence or in the delay or in the interim, you defend yourselves. And how do you do that? Like somebody have proffered solution. State police is one of them. States have the prerogative. The governors have that prerogative to do what? Creating state police. Kogi State Governor has done his. You must not necessarily empower urchins like some non-actors security outfit, though they may help. We also have the vigilante vigilante, whatever of Nigeria, VGN. You can incorporate these guys.
Yeah.
There are so many able-bodied.
What else capped?
Like
Man of War.
Like Manu, you can incorporate these guys because see, most of these guys are even idle.
Yeah.
And you can see that those sponsoring banditry, kidnapping, and all those things are also inducing them. Some of them are even being coerced to join because they are doing nothing. And then they have this capacity.
They have showed interest in security.
They know the
issues.
terrains. They have shown, most of them, if you go to the village, I know how many persons have told me, Honorable, please, I want to join the army. I learned your CEO is connected. I want to, please help me. I say, okay, I will. And
many of them have.
But I'll tell you that if you are going to the army, remember that after short training, you are going to defend the country. Say, no problem, I'm ready. And even if I die for the country, I don't mind. You see, you can see the zeal and the enthusiasm. Yeah. So when you look at such things and people are complaining, a governor will be coming to complain about security when I am the chief security of my state.
Just go ahead.
When I have the constitutional power and right, and I also know to pretend over security, and I know where to get funds from.
Yes.
Apart from the federal allocation,
I'll get it from the governor.
As a chief security officer, you are connected to the more than 180 countries under the United Nations organization, and you can party. You can partners, you can any of the charters, any of the arms.
Anytime you want to support,
even if you want UN to come directly to your state,
they will come.
They will come. You have that constitution.
Just like
you have a state assembly.
Just like he was.
As a matter of fact, I studied the constitution, enthroning and empowering the state government.
Yes.
I want to believe and conclude that we are already practicing true federalism. To be honest, the state governor has that power. And then everything they want to do now, they think everybody is myopic or everybody is unlearned and nobody seems to read or study. Even if you are not a graduate, nothing stops you from studying what should happen in your society and what should not happen. What you must know, you should know it. You understand? And I have come to know that the governors are as powerful like the president, apart from the being in charge of the armed forces, and which at their disposal they can always call for. How many times has Otom, the governor of Benue State, called on the chief of army staff? They came. They for operation is it Opetuma or whatever pronounced. They came. They found it there, and they are still working there.
Yeah.
Some states also that the Nigerian army, they have gone there. In fact, the armed forces, if you want, not even only army, they will come. And I want to also advise that do not use armies on checkpoints on the roads.
That's not what they were designed for.
They were not designed for that. Let them go to the hinterlands, the interior villages where kidnapping and all this are happening. So bringing army to be corrupt by some partners, you know,
by collecting what?
By stipends on the road.
Stipends on the road.
Yes,
the army were never known to be that.
They were never known.
And it's going to be the hugest mistake and the disgrace of the highest notice they have seen.
Becoming the greatest mistake because you see an army man standing on the road, even Air Force.
Because they have reduced them to checkpoints.
You have reduced that their dignity to checkpoints.
With all the training.
And they are collecting stipend on the road. It's wrong. Give these guys money. Release their allowances and let their allowances be paid. Let them have that dignity as security operatives that we used to know, that when an army man is passing, you dare not misbehave.
Yes, there's discipline around it.
Discipline.
You grew up in the barracks. So
yes.
Now there's a problem with the police. The police, the way they beat you, and the way that a soldier man.
No police is allowed to malhandle you or beat you.
But they are beating people up and down.
That is wrong. And it is because most people also don't know their right. Don't worry, one of these days we will just bring the Police Act here and
discuss it.
And discuss very elaborately
about the Police Act.
Yes.
The way the police should be acting.
Yes. We're also watching movies. We're also watching international
movies.
As they unfold, we know what policing is.
Not the one that they decided to kill this black man in the United States.
George Floyd. The man is being, they will sentence him soon.
Very soon.
I think they have sentenced.
They have removed him from the cop.
The two lieutenants.
Yeah, the two lieutenants.
They are accomplices.
Accomplices.
They have sentenced them. It's remaining him.
The United States is going to unleash law
mayhem. I want to say it that way.
So
to stop them from
create your state police and ensure you finance it, because it is easy. So that you see,
how
you
do
can
finance it?
Let me tell you, Mr. Peggy.
Yes.
There is money at the state level. Don't forget that the developmental project or whatever they are doing now, they are carrying out now, is not what they are carrying out now is not developmental politics. It's stomach infrastructural politics that they are doing now. I keep mentioning it, because how many governors are making roads, are implementing road projects in their state? How many governors are implementing or revamping industries that allow fallow in their states? Are you not watching? You came from a state, and there are states all over that we are seeing. It is only the federal allocation they want to depend on, and that is wrong. You have endowment, even if the federal government is in charge, or the federal government have an exclusive right over minerals and whatever in the state, you have also some right. You have also some right as governors to excavate, to mine, if illegal mining could be ongoing in states. In my local government or in my constituency, there is illegal mining of coal going on now. And will the government pretend that the government does not know?
Don't they have a minister of solid minerals?
We have a minister for solid minerals.
So why is it not doing this thing?
So what am I trying to tell us? I am telling us that the right and appropriate thing could be done by these governors. It is not all the time. See, that is why we have stratas. We have also levels of government. And then everybody should be seen doing his work. Don't throw your official responsibility at another person and say, okay, when it is spectacle, are you the one that comes on spectacle for me?
No, not at all.
And when there should be no spectacle, I know when there should be no spectacle. And I do my job. And I am paid to do my job. And also to do research, you understand? And to come and air them. And I'm doing my job. So why should I be found wanting for my job? It is not good. It is not proper. And so, in all the ministries, department, agencies, or as a sitting governor,
they should not be found
protect the lives and properties of your people.
Just like spectacle.
That is your first primary assignment there.
Congratulations, spectacle. That's right. Just like spectacle. So you know your job.
I know.
And when it is the patriot, you also don't come there.
Yeah, I don't come
and
there.
So I have to be the one
and
to do that.
I contribute the patriot.
And you also contribute to the patriot. And I also go to the streets and come back too. Thank you very much. I'm paid for the job.
Yeah, you're paid for the job.
Thank you very much. But you see, the problem I'm continuing to have with all the newspapers having the same security attacks left and right, gunmen attacking Sulidan, abducting commissioner, and then blah blah blah. Now the governor, apart from the farmers, it is moving away from the farmers, and the attack is now moving to the governors or former governors. And I want to find out from you if it is very, very correct that a governor actually can run 1.5 kilometers or so. Is that the security architecture that is surrounding the governor?
If a governor is healthy.
I hear that when the bullets are flying, be it whether you dive to the ground. So why is it that it's running up when the bullets were still flying up? I wanted to tell me something about that.
I don't want to say anything about that. To be honest, about the Benue issue, the Benue House, over time, since 2015 or so, be on the headlines. And a governor can run even a mile or even that kilometer is short. Me, I can even run 5 kilometers as I am now. Even at his age, he can run 1.5. He can jog in the morning, do exercise. No doubt. If he said he's attacked, he was attacked. He was attacked. And if there are evidence, it is not in my power. Probably I've not gone there for investigative journalism, and so I wouldn't want to say anything. But you know, Benue has been volatile with herdsmen crisis, and that I know. Even in my district of Edimoga, we were attacked, and at one time 25 persons died, were killed, were murdered, gruesomely murdered, broad daylight. And so, and that is why we are. That is what is creating problem in this administration. If not, there is no other area that Buhari has failed.
There is no other area. And that is why we advise that those herders moving up and down, this is 21st century.
Yeah.
This is 21st century. It might not even be herders that attacked Governor Tom. We know there is an insecurity problem related to the issue of Ghana, the death of Ghana and so on. You saw how the brother of the former governor, Gabriel Siswan, was gruesomely murdered.
It was a statement.
It was a statement.
That is a statement. The killing is a statement.
It was a statement.
Something is coming, I don't know.
You understand? So, but it was, the brother was killed. Was he killed by Fulani men?
No, it was killed by something related to those
creating mayhem in the state there. So you see, there is an insecurity problem already on ground there, and then we know that the fundamental insecurity problem that causes all these things, that gave room to all these things, was the Fulani crisis. In Agatu, we had them. We saw the murder. So why can't the Mieti Allah, the Makabang, the Fulani headers have association, the Funam and whatever, and try to respect themselves and say, okay, look, we have to, they are well schooled. We have interviewed many of them. They speak well. They are well schooled. They are on power. They know what to do. So there should be industry for you. You must not encroach and trespass people's farmland. You have made yourself dreadful. And now people, even if what you do not do, they say you do, and sometimes you even take glory for what you did not do. So it is very, very wrong, and therefore ranching is the best practices that should be respected or enacted across state level. And I'm surprised that the southwestern states are laughing and the rest are saying that they don't want ranching, and perhaps because they are afraid that somebody will come and dominate their land. No, the government controls ranching. You have pilot ranches across the local government and across the world and across the unit where necessary. We have arable land, we have farmland, we have land everywhere. Even land that are not even cultivated for farming could be used as ranching. And it is better to ranch your animals than to prowl them, make them walk miles. If they walk miles, they depreciate in value. And even they cannot be productive. So what is the essence of this? And they get tired. Even in the city of Abuja, you saw what we did on Spectrum. I had to meet the AEDP director, the Abuja Environmental Protection Board. I said, what is going on? We are seeing cows prowling the street of Abuja. Do you have grasses here for them to eat in Abuja? No grass. So why moving this thing up and down the street? You are disgracing the administration. And
apart from that, even with the economy, you're disgracing the administration. With the economic importance that ranching them is even going to triple what the gain. Economically. And even job employment. People will be employed. So why not buy the idea of ranching? And that is the area I will forever be grateful to Governor Tom. Whether anybody likes it or not. The truth is that he has come out with good policy about ranching, and he should be respected. And then everybody is following him.
And we should follow him.
He was insulted when he started.
But he never enacted the ranching, though. Yes.
It's just
when we talk about ranching, the government brings out some fund and then create area.
He has not even started ranching yet.
Not all. In some areas, yes. But you can't, if you say ranch your cow.
Prohibition. It just the law.
The law is there and the law stands. Therefore, people should begin to meet the government. Where do we keep
ranch
our cow?
Where do we ranch?
Where do we ranch?
Give us your support, give us the land, and then we'll continue with it.
Truth must be told. Truth well told is what could set us free.
That's very true. Yes. Now, I'm going to finally tell you that in Ogun State, over 30 cows were given mass burial. I don't know how cows...
They said the cows were poisoned. And for people not to go and eat their meat. And you know the behavior of some of our people.
Mass burial.
Some people eat dead meat. Even when their religious books say they should not eat dead meat. Strangled meat. They still eat strangled meat. You understand? If you throw a strangled meat, a dead cow or something here now, you see somebody will go and butcher the meat and even go and sell it.
What are you talking about when cows hit even animals? They pick it and just...
You understand? So people that can eat anything, when they see 30 cows, they can even take those meat and sell in the marketplaces. And people will buy and they may not know.
So the fear of that
was why they had to give them mass burial. So but the heading may proclaim or direct the reader to, if you don't want to read, if you read it, you will know what is going on there. If you allege that these cows died from poison, then the best thing to do is to give them mass burial where nobody should be able to eat their meat.
and controlled by government. Thank you very much, Mr. Spectacle, for coming on this beautiful program, Press Talk on Television.
Thank you, Mr.
Nigerian. This is where we'll wrap it up, because the details of most of the papers, they will go and find them on the vendors' desks. And this is very important that our viewers will be liking, making comments, subscribing to our page, and sharing our programs. Well, this is enough of the much, as a matter of fact, that we have for you on Press Talk on Television Nigeria. I have been talking the headlines with Engineer Daniel Atai. I have been Peggy Shandy, and many thanks for watching.